Okay, welcome to Bitrix Live. I'm Damien Edwards, Commercial Manager of Bitrix24 Partners Interface, and with me I have our Support Manager, Andy Naylor.
Hi guys, so we're going to be here for the next hour answering any questions that you may have on Bitrix. So whether you're using the cloud version of Bitrix or the on-premise, we've got both systems online ready to show you. So please do get your questions in by putting them in the box on YouTube. If you do have any questions throughout the week, make sure to send us an email either to sales@interface that you can see on the screen there at the moment, or to live@interface.com, and we can start the next session with those questions. So we have had some questions come in, I do believe. So I think David's going to start that off.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, a customer here essentially wants to customise their quote PDF and wants to know how you do that. So this is fairly straightforward. Let's go into the CRM. So we now have a very good way of creating custom PDFs for available on quotes and just quotes, I think.
Custom PDFs, it's available on every module now. So you do have the document in...
you can do it on companies.
You can do it on companies. So if you go into a company, you should be able to see it in the top right hand corner here.
Oh, right, okay. So you can generate a document.
I think if we go into, actually, you can see here, company, contact, deal, lead, invoice, so every module is in the CRM now.
So, but if you're generating a document on a company record, you can pull in fields from a quote that's associated with that company, I think. Is that correct?
I'm not sure how you would determine which quote you're pulling it from. So if a company has 10 quotes,
then... The other way around, though?
The other way around, yeah.
If you're generating a document on a quote, you can pull in the company, the information associated with the information from the company associated with that quote. Just look at that then. So if I go into my quotes here, open up any quote, and then I have my documents available here in order to generate. Let's just open up one. Don't think we've actually done a great deal of anything on this. So we have our standard sort of template here. I can edit this template by opening, there's some settings here about what we're binding it to. So this is what we've got available. So when we pull in fields onto this document, we can pull them from any of these items here. Templates available to any user of the system, and we can download this template as a Word document. It is a docx document, and we can move the layout around in a Word format and import a logo into here, add some terms and conditions of what you need at the bottom of it, and then re-import it, and it will save the template. Next time you generate a document, it will bring in all those new changes. If we go into add new template, so I think you have a series of templates here by default when you go into your system from scratch. You can download either of them as well from here and then re-upload them. But what you need to be able to do is go into have access to the fields section. So if on the template that you've downloaded that you're going to customize, it doesn't have the field that you want, click into here and all the fields are available with their little reference. So things like quote date is going to be one you're probably going to use. You need to use this reference in your PDF document in order for that to bring in the data, or this field quote date. There's a lot of fields in here, so see there are 5,000 essentially variations of these data fields that you can bring into a template document. It does mean that you can generate a kind of traditional quote, pro forma invoice type layout, but also you can have options for something which is more like a proposal document with a cover sheet, some text about the business and background on the business, some extensive terms and conditions, and you can bring in your price information from the quote. So this information, the products and the prices and the totals and things into a little price box within that proposal document, and of course bring in the company information as well. Probably drop that in as a field on the cover.
Yeah, I think one of the useful things with the documents is if you've generated a quote document for this already, click into document, you can just click onto the documents link here and you'll be able to see the historic documents that have been generated against this particular quote. So it's just a little bit hidden away. It's a common question that we get asked. It says, where do the quotes go when we've generated them? It's just simply to sit under the documents link here, so you'll be able to retrieve that quotation back that you've previously generated.
So that's not a template, that's something that's been generated from a template into a document. So if you were to change the products on your quote and reissue the quote to the customer, that's where you see the history of the old quotes that you sent to them. Yeah, that's it. And we also had a question here about how easy is it to integrate Bitrix into my current finance system. So we're on a quote. So from a quote we can generate an invoice. So Bitrix works with leads. First of all, from a lead you generate companies and contacts and a deal as the opportunity record. From a deal you can generate a series of quotes. Should you want to give the customer different options, you can generate different quotes with different products or different variations of products. And then when you win one of those quotes, you can generate an invoice from that. So click on this button to generate an invoice. I mean, it is possible to create a simple process that would generate an invoice when you click approve. I don't think that generates an invoice as standard, no. So you need to click on this. This will generate an invoice record in your system. Actually looks very similar, essentially really identical to the quote layout. You can do documents again, so it's so you can generate an invoice document. And if we go into the company here, you can then view, of course, all the deals, quotes, and invoices. And with invoices, you're going to have something like a paid stage or a refund or cancelled stage or something at the end. So if I was to change one of these to refund, then it goes red. So you can clearly see which ones have been paid, which ones haven't been paid, which ones are outstanding. You want to integrate that with a finance system, so that's Bitrix doesn't include things like scheduling for scheduling in terms of for tax. It doesn't include it doesn't really handle VAT probably in some of the ways you need to do in order to submit your VAT returns. You can add VAT onto products, and you can handle different VAT in different areas, geographical areas. So in your home country where you're charging sales tax and abroad where you're not, that can be handled in Bitrix. It won't create a VAT return for you. So you need a finance system, and we integrate with, let's have a look. If you go into your applications, have a look what systems we integrate with. If you do a search by accounting, then we have QuickBooks, FreshBooks, and Xero finance systems that we integrate with. So we use this one, that works well. So you've got those three options. If your finance package, we work with a lot of businesses that use Sage. There isn't integration pre-built for Sage, but if you want to do that, we could develop that integration, but you would need a self-hosted version to access the full API to do that.
Yeah, I think this leads nicely onto the question that came across for myself this week, and one of the questions was, does Bitrix integrate with Zapier? So yes, the answer is yes, it does. So if you type in Zapier, and you can see the different tools. So you've got Zapier for the CRM, so you can push things out of Bitrix to Zapier and then connect another application on the other end of the Zapier plugin. And you can do it for CRM, tasks, and communication. The CRM is the popular one, so you can see here, I think there is a dedicated Bitrix site to this now, so you can find out a little bit more about what the triggers and actions are in each of the different modules. So if you are interested in that, it does open it up a little bit more in terms of integrating. If it doesn't integrate, if SAP doesn't integrate with one of your accounting packages, then as Damien said, with the on-premise version, you can go down the route of the API. So
yeah, so I think really, Bitrix will handle marketing for you, so we can create campaigns, email and SMS and voice campaigns to generate inquiries. You can capture leads. There's tools to capture leads from forms on your website, chat widgets on your websites. You can integrate with things like Facebook in order to capture those leads. And you manage all the sales CRM stuff, managing your customer relationship, and then from there you can manage the projects, deliver the projects within work groups in Bitrix. Now we have all the HR tools, but in terms of finance, those tend to rely on local regulation, so Bitrix doesn't sort of manage finance, so you need a separate system to do that, but we can integrate with that for you. There's our contact details. So we're in the UK, we've got offices in the US and UAE, and we can provide a demo first of all, so discussion about the different features you require. We can demo the product and make advice on which is the right addition for you. Bitrix is available as a cloud product, a number of different packages on the cloud, and then a self-hosted edition, which is you're able to host in-house in your own server, or you can host on a web server. They're both the self-host and the cloud. They're both full-on cloud packages. You can access them over the internet. But we can advise the right edition for your requirements, and then we can do implementation, and we can do customization, and then we provide training as well, and full support, telephone support as well. So
I had a question come through just with regards to how you can set the layout of a contact in the CRM, because the issue that they were having was that different users were seeing different fields and different data. So if we jump into the CRM, and if you are an administrator, we would usually recommend, as an administrator, you can set up the layout that everybody sees. So if we click into contacts and then click into the contact themselves here, the first thing that you need to do, just be aware of as an administrator, click on the little gear icon at the top and just make sure switch to common view form is checked, so as it is. And then again, as an administrator, you can start naming sections. So we could say this is let's say information, and then we can hide any data that we don't want. So we might not want to see the position field, and we can then select fields. Maybe you've created some custom fields, so we can select them and show them. So maybe if we have location, and by default Bitrix would generally hide all empty fields. So you can see we have this field is empty, and that's because, click on the little gear icon, show always is checked. If this box isn't checked, then it will hide that field. But it will be available if we were to click on change, and we'll be able to see the location field down here, and then we can click on save. The reason why you might always show hidden fields is because it makes it very quick and very easy for the sales agent to click and edit a field without having to click into change. So if I click on here, booking type, you can see it automatically goes into the field, and I can click and save that. So going back to the layout, you can set all these up as an administrator yourself, positioning everything that you want. You can create new sections to store specific information in, and once you've done, just go back up to the gear icon in the top right hand corner and just click on set common form view for all users. Now a sales agent coming into the CRM who doesn't have administration rights will see the exact layout that you've set them, as long as they are viewing it in the common form view. Common form view is company wide. They wouldn't be able to change that. It's only an administrator, so it's a very good way of having a consistent look within the CRM. So that's not just in contacts. Exactly the same methods apply in a lead, in a deal, in a company. So you can really structure your data in the best way possible for all your staff.
Okay, I want to send an email when a deal is at a particular stage and only if they are allocated to one particular user. So, so we're looking at deals. So if we go into deals here, go into this view of deals and open up any one deal. I don't need to do that. Go into the automation button here, and so we're sending any. So we've got a lot of rules here that are happening based on these stages. Just click into the settings button. So let's say we're at this stage. We want to send an email. If we go into add and communications, we can send an email. We can put some text into here about the email, and we need to add a condition. So the only if they are allocated to one particular user. So we need to be looking at the deal and who is responsible for this deal. So responsible equals, we can select our user here. So I'm logged in as this John Smith, so we can use that. So this this process will run. Let's save that, select that, save that. So this process will run if the deal is at this stage and if this condition is met. Just look at addition. Responsible equals John Smith. That's it. So we could do, and the content of that email can be from John Smith and particular stuff that John Smith might say. You could have actually a different one then, second one, and have slightly different content in that email, and then probably don't need to go through it again, but responsible equals, and then we're going to set somebody else, and Harriet can then have different content for her email.
Just while you're in here, sorry, one of the other questions that we get about sending these emails out is, can we send HTML emails out? And the answer is yes. It's quite straightforward. It's a little bit hidden. All you need to do, you can see on the right hand side of the formatting toolbar, we're currently in visual mode. All you need to click into is this, and it's source code, and that will then let you just copy and paste an email template into it in HTML, as long as you've got that. So if you've been using MailChimp, you can export HTML out of MailChimp, and you can just click on there, click on here, and import it into it. So it is a little bit hidden, but you certainly can send HTML emails using the automation rules on there. So just a handy tip to have, I think.
Yeah. So we've not got questions on YouTube, so send us questions in the chat window there if you've got any questions at all on any areas, sales, CRM, marketing, all the new marketing tools. We can help you with that. Project management, anything on processes typically is what we get asked, so how to build business process or use automation. Any questions about licensing or different editions? Any questions about what we as Interface can do for you? So the training we can provide, we can do that online, or we can do that in your office. So wherever you are, so we go all over the world, US, South Africa, Middle East, training businesses on Bitrix24. Okay, we have a question about how to get SMS sending outside of Bitrix. So let's have a look at this setup on this one. I think let's go into contacts. So I think you just set it up through the contact page. So we're using this here. So we are configured to use SMS on this through Plivo. So I think actually, yeah, you click on here and we can switch then. So if you're not configured, then you'll get the option to choose one of these. And if we go to Twilio now, then it's taken us to the app. We can follow the instructions on here. So it looks like we're going to have to create an account at Twilio, which we can do through the link there. Register with a telephone number, get the token, SID from Twilio and submit them into here. So, you know, non-technical really, we should be able to set that up quite easily. And that then, so you do need, as with telephone calls, you've got to pay for each one. So with text messaging, you need to sign up for an account with somebody. So they're not handled inside Bitrix. Bitrix obviously handles telephone calls, but they don't handle SMS inside the system using a third party to do it through there.
Yeah.
Concerned,
and there's many places, isn't there, that Bitrix uses SMS for. So you're sending one in a contact. You can also use them in the automation where Damien was a moment ago in specific automation rules. And you can also use them in the CRM marketing. So if you use them in the CRM marketing, then you can send out SMS campaigns.
Yeah, so question here, comment here about really wish you'd get some text back. So I don't think at the moment you can receive replies to those. So I've sent one here, and yeah, it'd be nice if you could see any replies coming from that. But as we again get quite a lot of sort of system-generated text messages, they're generally not intended for they don't invite replies to them. But yeah, currently you can't.
Yeah, there is a WhatsApp, isn't there, application that you could use. I think it's called WhatsApp, is it?
Yeah.
I think it's called that. And you would be able to send. I'm sure you can receive on that as well. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah.
But that is a query we get quite a lot. Can the SMS replies come into the CRM? But unfortunately, not at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. Our contact details up there. We haven't got any more questions, so if you've got any questions, let us have some questions so we can deal with those. Usually here for up to an hour, but here as long as the questions come in. And
I did have a question actually earlier today. One of our clients asked, and it was generally about how can we integrate Facebook ads, so Facebook leads, generate leads through Facebook. And Bitrix does have an actual tool to do that. So if you go into the contact center and look at the Facebook lead ads here, what it will do is it will ask you to select one of the CRM forms that you've previously created in the CRM. So if you don't know, Bitrix has a CRM form tool that allows you to create a unique form that people can submit, fill out, submit, and it will generate a lead. You can select one of those forms here, and then all you would need to do is connect your Facebook account. So you click on connect there, and it will connect to your Facebook account. And if you've got Facebook ad, if you're a Facebook ad manager within that account that you've connected, your CRM form from Bitrix will appear in the form lists available for you to use in your Facebook ads. And what that will mean is that the people on Facebook your customers, your potential customers, will see the ad. They will be able to click a button and it will pop up a form, or they will be able to see a form within Facebook, fill it out, and it will generate a lead inside Bitrix. So it's quite a powerful way. They don't have to leave Facebook at all, but still use your CRM form that you're using on that particular campaign. So it's definitely a great way of being able to generate those leads through your Facebook ads.
Okay, yeah, so Eric says there's a workaround via Twilio to forward to your cell, so that's quite good, I guess. I guess you're referring to replies to text messages there. So they're not going to come into Bitrix, but you can get them on your cell. So I guess it's a workaround. It's not ideal because you don't get the full activity that others can see in the CRM.
Just while we're on this page, just to point out a couple. I was playing around with a couple of these the other day, and if you are heavily involved in Instagram, so you're posting from a business account onto Instagram, and people write comments on those particular posts, they can actually come back into your open channels widget. So you can stay in Bitrix. People are commenting on your post on Instagram, and it will come via the open channel widget here. It will show you the picture of the actual Instagram post in the open channel widget message, and it will show you the comment under, and you can actually reply straight from Bitrix to that particular comment, so you never have to actually leave Bitrix to do that. So it is really useful tool.
Yeah, not necessarily at that one actually. We do quite a lot with Facebook. We do website widgets, of course, all the time, website forms. Of course, we do mail and telephony integration. But yeah, that one's always big for a lot of users. So that's good. Okay, don't think we've got any more questions, but if you want to, for a couple of minutes, we'll stay on. If you want to send questions over in the next couple of minutes, we will do that for you. Let's have a quick look in here. So this gives you, I guess, then all the sort of history of all those contact centre inquiries. That's quite good because you can export it, but also you can use any sort of filter. So you just buy individual channels. In fact, you can add more, can't you? Individual channels, what source the lead came from, things, how it's rated by supervisor. That's quite good, isn't it? You want to see the ones that have been rated low to check those. You can do that. Don't know what chat statistics does. Okay, yeah. So again, just a dashboard where you can add your own widgets on here, and then click into each one and to settings and choose what sets of data you're showing on that widget. So
I definitely think it's a handy tool, isn't it? If you are using the contact center channels such as live chat, Facebook, Instagram, all the different ones, you can actually see where your inquiries are coming from,
which channel, and then which agents are dealing with them. Just see how successful they are. And if you're using those tools that ask for feedback, you can see who's getting the best of the scores and feedback. So this one gives you at the bottom, gives you agents. Lots of agents. If I scroll back up again, this one gives you activity, kind of a heat map, so you can see where the activities are coming. So if they're coming on a particular day of the week, or particular, more likely, that time of day, you can gear up for that, can't you? I mean, really, all the data's in there, so you can display it on graphs like this to make it useful for your business, so you can plan accordingly for it. So we don't have any more questions. So we will close it. We have a session at the same time every week, and so if you subscribe to Interface, INTREFACE on YouTube, and Bitrix24 on YouTube, then you'll get notification. We do it at the same time every week, this time of week. In addition, we have webinars on Monday at 10 a.m, 11 a.m, New York time, Eastern Standard Time. Those are on different subjects. We look at CRM, project management, telephony, sites, business processes, etc. We do a different one every week, and so you can subscribe to those. Those are an hour long. This session's between half an hour and an hour, depending on how many questions we get. But we are here every week, so I hope to see you next time.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit quieter today, isn't it? It's 4th of July. I think quite a lot of businesses in the US are closed, so it is usually a little bit busier, and a few more questions come through. But yeah, drop us an email in the week if you do have any questions, and we can start the next session with those. Okay, bye for now.